Water is life. But in India, water is also a growing crisis. Imagine waking up one day, turning on your tap, and finding nothing. No water to drink, no water to cook, no water to even bathe. This is not a problem of the future. It is happening right now in many parts of India. India has 1.4 billion people, but only 4% of the world's freshwater resources. More than 600 million Indians face high to extreme water stress. Cities like Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi are already struggling with severe water shortages. Farmers are battling repeated droughts. Even our sacred rivers, the Ganga, Yamuna, and Godavari, are now heavily polluted. So how did we reach this stage? What are the real causes of this crisis? And most importantly, what can we do to fix it? Today, let's break down India's water crisis, its causes, its impact, and the solutions that could save our future. To understand India's water crisis, we need to first look at where our water comes from. India's water sources are mainly rivers and lakes. The Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna, Godavari, Krishna, and many other rivers supply drinking water, irrigation, and electricity to millions. But today, many of these rivers are drying up or heavily polluted. The Yamuna in Delhi is covered with toxic industrial waste, and the Ganga carries 12 billion liters of untreated sewage every day. Groundwater. India is the largest user of groundwater in the world. Over 60% of irrigation and 90% of rural drinking water comes from underground sources. But over-extraction is causing groundwater levels to plummet at alarming rates. In the last 50 years, groundwater in Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan has dropped by over 10 meters. Rainwater and monsoons. 80% of India's rainfall comes during just 4 months of the monsoon, but erratic rains lead to either floods or droughts. In 2019, Chennai experienced day zero, when all its reservoirs dried up completely, leaving 11 million people without water. Why is India running out of water? The problem is complex, but it comes down to these 5 key issues. Over-extraction of groundwater. India extracts 250 billion cubic meters of groundwater each year, more than the US and China combined. Unregulated bore wells are depleting underground reserves faster than they can be replenished. Water pollution. 70% of India's surface water is contaminated. The Yamuna and Ganga are filled with industrial effluents, pesticides, and sewage. This leads to serious health issues, as over 200,000 people die annually from diseases caused by unsafe water. Climate change and erratic monsoons. With rising temperatures, droughts and floods are becoming more frequent. Melting Himalayan glaciers threaten the water supply for millions in North India. Poor water management and wastage. Indian cities lose 40% of their water due to leaking pipelines. In agriculture, traditional flood irrigation wastes up to 70% of water, leading to unnecessary losses. Rapid urbanization and population growth. By 2050, India's urban population will double, making water shortages even worse. Cities like Bangalore and Mumbai are already struggling to meet demand. Water is not just a resource. In India, it is a source of conflict. Rivers flow across multiple states, and sharing water has always been a challenge. Disputes over water distribution have led to violent protests, court battles, and even loss of lives. Let's take a look at India's biggest water conflicts. The Kaveri water dispute, Tamil Nadu versus Karnataka. The Kaveri River originates in Karnataka and flows into Tamil Nadu, covering about 800 kilometers. For over 150 years, these two states have fought over who gets to use how much water. The Krishna Godavari dispute, Andhra Pradesh versus Telangana versus Karnataka versus Maharashtra. The Krishna and Godavari rivers supply water to 4 major states: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, and Maharashtra. Each of these states wants a bigger share, leading to constant disputes. The Sutlej-Yamuna Link Canal dispute, Punjab versus Haryana. This dispute between Punjab and Haryana has been unresolved for over 40 years. Haryana demands that Punjab complete the canal so it can receive a fair share of Sutlej water, while Punjab refuses to share it. The India-Bangladesh Teesta River dispute. This is not just an Indian issue, it's an international conflict between India and Bangladesh. The Teesta River is a major water source for both West Bengal and Bangladesh. Water scarcity is not just an environmental issue. It affects everything, from the food we eat to the health of our people and the future of our cities. Let's see how the water crisis is already affecting different aspects of Indian life. Impact on agriculture and farmers. Farming is the backbone of India, but the water crisis is pushing farmers into extreme distress. 80% of India's water is used for irrigation, but outdated methods waste most of it. Impact on cities and drinking water. Indian cities are growing fast, but their water supply is not keeping up. The demand for water in urban India is expected to double by 2050. But where will that water come from? Health and waterborne diseases. Contaminated water is a silent killer in India. It is responsible for thousands of deaths every year. The crisis is severe, but there is still hope. Here are the key solutions that can help India secure its water future. Rainwater harvesting. Tamil Nadu's successful rainwater program has improved groundwater levels by 50%. Smart irrigation techniques. Shifting from flood irrigation to drip irrigation can reduce water usage by 40%. Cleaning India's rivers. Namami Gange mission has improved Ganga's water quality by 30%. Stronger laws and policies. Better regulations on groundwater extraction and pollution control. The future of India's water is in our hands. What do you think is the best solution? Comment below and join the conversation.